This solstice is different. We are entering this pivotal window where there is an incredible access point to the 0 point. The fields are incredibly pure. And so what this means is we're seeing timelines dissolve, identities collapse or shift, and a rapid acceleration of light body activations and crystalline DNA activations. And so what that means is that we have these new trajectories coming into form that we've never seen before, and it's happening very, very quickly. And so as we move from 2025 to 2026, this solstice, this is more than just this symbolic turning of the wheel like we often think of with our solstices and equinoxes, but this is an incredible passageway. And there is this cosmic alignment with the outer planets that are moving and the energetics of our solstice, and it's paving the way for rapid transformation. And so if you've been feeling the intensity, the energetic clearing, the emotional clearing or heaviness, or even spontaneous awakening of intuitive gifts, this is why. So in this episode, we're diving into ascension energetics, looking at these crystalline activations, the outer planet shifts, what all of this means for your mission as we move into the year of the fire horse. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Sarah Bell, Modern Medicine Woman, and I'm excited to dive in today talking all about ascension energetics and the solstice. And I invite you to stay around to the end because I have a special invitation for you with how to work with the solstice. I'm also going to share some key crystals that will support you as well. So let's talk about this solstice as a gateway. We are entering sacred season. First of all, sacred season starts December 12th and runs through January 30th. And this is a particular passageway. It is a long time-honored passageway that has been worked with for years, and it is a turning point. It is a powerful turning point, and we have all of these planetary influences in these higher realms of light that are supporting. And this year, this gateway is really held in this larger photonic order. And so we have new light that is encoded with cosmic frequencies that is hitting our planet. And the magnetics are shifting. And so that really creates a thinning of the veils that allows this photonic light, this cosmic light, to reach us in new ways. And so all of that is accelerating crystalline DNA activations. It's accelerating revelation. So we experience this revelation of truth. It's like we come into alignment with truth and it just hits differently. It feels differently because it is a frequency that we are literally aligning with and tapping into. There also is this dissolution of identity structures, and there is this ending of karmic loops that we have carried for lifetimes. And so, in essence, we can no longer play the role that we used to play. And so if you came into this life with certain karmic patterns, you probably have soul contracts with certain people or companies or even places, or our soul contracts extend into many, many relationships. And so as we end these karmic loops, these relationships have to end, or this way of being in relationship has to end. And that can be a big, big challenge to transition and move through. There is this coming into awareness with truth, right? Where we see it, but then maybe we don't want to see it. And so there's this kind of bobbing in and out of that revelation energy, of that coming into deep, deep clarity and truth, and then finding how we integrate our nervous system or our nervous system responses into that process. And so there's also this destabilization of timelines that allows for new trajectories to anchor. And where we really tap into this is through the 0 point. And where we really tap into that is through stillness. So it's coming into deep, deep stillness that we can start to tune into the heart field. All of this is happening through the heart. And we can start to access these higher frequencies. This particular solstice is an activation of the 0 point. And so for the first time, we are able to start to connect in with these Christed frequencies, Christed levels of consciousness in form. And so this is really powerful and pivotal because we have people now on earth that are embodying that Christ consciousness in form. This is what it means to bring heaven to earth. It is a frequency, it is a consciousness, and it is an energetic that you radiate through your crystalline heart. And if you've been doing the work, the ascension work of clearing density, purifying the field, being able to hold these higher frequencies in form, you can start to connect in with this energy, and you will feel it as energy running through the body, rippling through the body. It can feel like bliss. It can feel like absolute merging into the unity field, into oneness. And sitting in stillness is the best way to access this energy. And it's important to also recognize that this is a process of learning to run these higher energies through form. That alone is its own pathway of personal development and inner work and frequency work, right? To be able to hold a higher frequency, but to be able to hold that consistently in form. And so this solstice passage offers us this powerful access point for starting to anchor in these higher frequencies in form. And with that, we have access then to new trajectories, new ways of creating. One of the things that you'll notice is the higher self starts to override egoic loops more readily. And so you start to have greater attunement to the ego mind as it pops up. What are those looping patterns that arrive? And the higher self is able to step in more quickly and overwrite those egoic loops. And so so anchoring the higher self into form is increasingly going to become more of the norm. And this is what you're going to see as we start to move into next year and we move into greater sovereignty. That sovereignty field is also allowing us to hold this higher self down in form through our expression. So let's talk about these outer planetary shifts and their impact to this ascension window, because we have a lot of major planets changing signs, and these outer planets are our collective teachers. They shape generational consciousness. Why? Because when they move signs, they're in those signs usually for decades. And so we've been in this sort of window where they've come in and they've retrograded and they've come in. And let's look at the major ones, because these themes are also really, really potent. And when they are happening during this solstice window, their energies are amplified. And so first we have Pluto moving into Aquarius. This is the signature of a new epic. And so with this comes rapid innovation. And we're seeing this in AI and technology and all of these rapid advancements in the technology space. There's also this rapid evolution into our multidimensionality. There is this awakening of who we are as beings in form, this awakening to how we even know ourselves, our biology, our consciousness, right? There's a radical expansion in consciousness. And so we are seeing in parallel to these advancements in technology, we have these advancements in our own understanding of our multidimensionality or multidimensional nature. And so we also have this breakdown of outdated systems. So the way we've always been operating can no longer come into these new energies. And so there is this dismantling of old systems, and we see it, right? We see it crumbling right before our eyes. And a lot of it is painful, but this is all in the stars. Literally, this is all in the energetics. And so we have this liberation of consciousness from the old grids. And with all of this rapid change and all of this rapid dismantling, the fields are incredibly fertile for new energy, new creativity, new potential, new ways of being, new ideas. And so if you have new ideas coming to you, listen to those, because right now there is so much coming in. And because of all of this shifting, we are primed to bring in change in a powerful way. And the Lightworkers are playing an incredible role in creating the new light, creating a world that is based on consciousness. And so we also have the next planet is Neptune, that is nearing the Aries threshold. That happens in January. And so Neptune, this is where mysticism meets embodiment. And Aries, of course, has this very pioneering energy. And so we can expect to see like new spiritual movements, creative rebellion, and ways of accessing spirituality in new ways. And so there's a lot of creative energy here. And there's also the fields are primed for greater self-discovery. So again, it's that deeper understanding of self and this expansion into new ways of expressing and really getting connected to our spiritual side in a very practical way. It's bringing that spirituality down into practical expressions. And then we have Uranus that is completing Taurus and moving into Gemini. And so this is bringing revolutionary shifts to finances, to our resources, our values, our comforts, our food. The way that we experience stability is shifting, and it's shifting in dramatic ways. And in some ways it needs to shift through like difficulty or through like disruption or technology, or it's just like this collapse energy, right? And then things are shifting. And so these movements of these outer planets are not a coincidence. This is all shaping our ascension. It's all shaping our human evolution. And we are literally being positioned for a quantum leap in 2026. So let's talk about what this means for lightworkers, healers, and starseeds, because you are being repositioned, or as I like to think of it, it's activated and mobilized into your path of service. That is ultimately what I am here to do on mission, is to activate and mobilize lightworkers into their path of service. And this is such a potent window and a powerful time. And so we can no longer be with timelines, people, relationships, things that do not align with what you came here to do. So the original soul agreements are being activated. They are awakening. They are coming online. They are coming into your consciousness. They are finding their way to you to like, oh yeah, I remember, or oh yeah, I think I meant to be doing this. It kind of can be like an inkling that arrives to you that feels familiar. And then as you start to travel down a certain pathway, maybe of education or discovery, you start to feel this resonance and this remembering. And it's like, I think I meant to be doing this. But then that requires you to start to reorient your whole life, which can feel incredibly disruptive. But this is ultimately the energy that we are in. This is what this means of being repositioned. And so it's a big part of this shift is an identity shift. It is an identity shift. So do you currently think of yourself as a light worker, as a healer, as a starseed? Do these words feel comfortable to you? Or is it something like you hear those words and you feel a certain resonance, but maybe you don't feel like you fully embodied the identity quite yet? And so this can sort of show you where you are in that identity embodiment phase. And this is something to really get aligned with and attuned to try on those identities and to really start to look at what is needed to embody this way of being, because it's happening, yes or yes, it's happening with these energies. And sometimes when we can't make those shifts and changes ourselves, the universe has a way of delivering us for us. And this is what happens when we come in with those soul agreements and then we are in these potent energetic times, is that things start to collapse on their own. We have our own identity shifts, our own personal collapse, our own emotional clearing processes that happen. And we can move through these rapid processes of emotional clearing and then arrive at this like crystalline insight, where we start to see through crystalline eyes, and we can start to see the purity field, and we can see those soul agreements more clearly. We can start to see, oh, this is why I was in this relationship, or this is why I was in this job. This is what this has been priming me to do. This is why I've been collecting all this experience. And now I'm ready to take this leap and reposition and really step into my path of service, what I am here to do. And so we also see during this time, this acceleration of gifts. And so you might feel more connected to the field. You might start noticing more synchronicities arriving to you, or you might start to have more experiences of telepathy, right? And I find that's really common right now in the field, is more experiences where we're thinking of someone and then we get a text, right? Or we're thinking of someone and then the person next to us says the thing, or they say the thing and we had just had the thought. And so it's like we're starting to be aware of this interconnectedness to all things, and we're tapping into the field in greater ways. So this is another example that you are perfectly aligned with these current energies. It's this awakening of intuitive gifts and this deeper interconnectedness with the field and the energetics that are at play. And so this is your field, your extrasensory perceptive field that is expanding and opening during this passageway. You can also be feeling a lot of exhaustion, right? Because I talked about the frequency shifts and being able to run more frequency through the body, and that can create a lot of exhaustion. And this is naturally a period where we start to slow down, come into stillness, come into rest. And if we are running around and doing all the things and overworking ourselves, it can add to that already exhaustion that's happening through running these higher frequencies. And so it's like the energies are compounding on themselves. And so it's really, really important to take heed and to create spaces for rest during this passageway. And what you'll find is in those spaces of rest and stillness, you'll find creativity arriving, because there is so much new light coming in, and it's coming in with these activations to activate you, bringing you new ideas, new inspiration. I've already been getting new ideas myself for the start of the new year, and it's wanting you to hold that and fertilize that through this passageway. So if you feel that happening, where you have new ideas coming in, creative flows happening, talk about it. Talk about it with your friends, because talking about it starts to energize it. It charges the heart. And that's how we ultimately start to bring it down into that manifesting current, into the physical. And you are here to birth those things, new light in form coming through your manifestations and your creations. So listen to it, follow it, because you are being repositioned, you are being mobilized, you are being activated. And so this comes through all of these different ways, this identity shedding, relationship shifting, creative ideas sparking, and exhaustion. It's like, it's an exciting time, right? It's an exciting time. And then we are stepping into this fire horse new year. This is the Chinese zodiac that we're working with as we step into 2026. And this is an energy of ignition. It's an energy of, there's also like a spirit of rebellion in this energetic, as well as incredible creativity and incredible sovereignty. All of these energies, the energies with the outer planets, the Chinese New Year, or the Fire Horse New Year, it is all activating sovereignty. And I talk about this word sovereignty a lot, because I ultimately feel like I am here to carry the torch and activate that in others. And what that means is literally unhooking from the matrix, unhooking from mass consciousness, unhooking from these systems of dogma and these projections of societal, agreements and collective understandings, and really leading with inner authority, tapping into your 0 point, your inner truth, your divine expression, and carrying that forth and through no matter what. So unplugging from what others are going to think, unplugging from these collective programs, and really tapping into what is true for you. And we can access that through this 0 point, through this space of stillness, through this space of I am presence, coming into that deep knowing and that deep connection with your I am presence, your Christed frequency in form. And so when we can listen and get still, we access those spaces, and that is our gold. That is what we are here to bring forth and through, and how we are here to express. And so this year of the fire horse is this ignition energy. It's this powerful, creative energy. It's calling you into your true expression, into your true path, into your sovereign self. And so there's so much empowerment energy here. Do you feel that? It's like so much empowerment energy. And so this solstice window is a time to be calibrating your nervous system to receive those DNA crystalline activations. This is all supporting what we're stepping into. And it's almost like this deep cosmic breath in before the ignition point. And so this passageway is a time to really get still and connect in, and to reset the nervous system, and to get grounded and centered, and even proficient at accessing that 0 point, because you will come back to that over and over and over. This is essentially your operating system, and it is like groundwork or foundational work into this year that we are stepping into. I want to talk about how to work with this portal and share a few key tips, and then we will wrap up. So I've already said it a few times about stillness. And so one way to work with these energies is meditation, coming into stillness. And you can literally, I think this actually is the foundational practice to awakening your intuitive gifts. This is what we work on inside Crystal Wisdom Codes. But even having a daily practice of 5 minutes of stillness, you can set a timer on your phone, play music, and just give yourself to that time. Stillness is a technology. I'm going to say that again. Stillness is a technology. And so just let that land. Because ancient mystery school techniques taught this pathway of stillness as a way in, as a way into connecting with all that you are. This gets back to the 0 point, right? We access it through the heart. And ultimately, we are accessing our higher levels. We are merging up with higher levels and connecting in with all that is. And so this is ultimately where you have greatest access to truth and wisdom, to your truest connections to creative energy, creativity. This is literally, creative energy is divine light coming down into form, and it comes through the crown. And so we connect in through the heart, and we move into that space that is beneath the noise. And a lot of people really struggle with this because your mind is probably really busy, right? It's like, welcome to the club. Everyone's mind is busy. And it's not even about quieting the mind as much as it is about building the discipline at first. And so just connecting in to a space of stillness, you can light a candle and you can set an intention and drop into that space of focus. So this is one way. And you can even, one practice that I love is connecting with the energy in front of the heart. And so there is this really palpable field of plasma that you can connect into that heart field. And when you even start to attune to it, it's attuning you to connecting in with finer energetics, which is also a pathway in to awakened intuition. I also love this practice connecting with the sun, because ultimately we have all of this higher level photonic light arriving to us through the sun. And so this is a really powerful way of activating the 0 point within you and being able to hold those Christed frequencies is to, you can do sun gazing, but you want to do that at the sunrise or the sunset point. And I actually even just like to receive it through the third eye. So I will close my eyes and feel the sun arriving to the third eye and just breathing with the sun. You can literally breathe as a circuit with the sun. You could even send things that you feel like you're ready to release. You can breathe them out to the sun and allow the sun to take those energies when it sets, bringing those things to completion. So these are little powerful little tips for how to work with the 0 point and work with these expanded states. And you will feel the frequencies rippling through as you start to open that solar stargate of the heart and connect in with the sun. And the other piece, another really powerful practice or way of working with these energies is to really lean into your shadow work, really looking at those shadow parts of self and allowing those things to rise up. And when we come into stillness, we can start to connect with those with more compassion, right? Because we're more in a receptive state. We're more in a grounded state. Our nervous system is grounded. We're in a space of heart coherence. So we have more capacity to be able to sit with those parts of self that we normally reject or push down. And when we are leaning into the shadow, this isn't, because sometimes when we meet our shadow self, we feel like we're going backwards, right? We feel like we're regressing, or it might feel really messy. And so I want to just invite you to think about shadow work, not as regression, but as revelation, because it really opens these pockets and pathways for deeper alchemy. And when we start to clear this density, it allows us to hold more light in form. And so shadow work is foundational to the ascension path. It's foundational for light workers, healers, starseeds. If we are going to be these beacons of light in the world that we've come to be, we have to be clearing the density. And so that really starts with looking at the shadow. And when we are in this season of winter, where we're literally with more days that are filled with darkness than light, we are primed to be doing our shadow work in this time. And so I want to talk a little bit about a few crystalline companions that you can work with. And then I have some opportunities too for deepening into some of this work in this passageway. So one stone, while we're talking about shadow, is obsidian. And so this is actually a gold sheen obsidian. And obsidian, there's black obsidian, there's rainbow obsidian, gold sheen obsidian, silver sheen obsidian, there's snowflake obsidian. I don't have my snowflake with me, but I love snowflake obsidian for shadow work, because the little white snowflakes, which are cristobalite, those soften the energy of obsidian. And so it brings this gentle quality to working with the shadow. I love gold sheen obsidian as well, because it's bringing in this golden Christed light into this work as well, helping you to hold that. But obsidian is a powerful stone for transmuting the shadow. It's also a really protective stone. So it creates this beautiful protected field for that work to take place. And another great stone is golden healer quartz. So if you're looking specifically at working with solar frequencies, Christed light, embodying Christed light in form, golden healer quartz is amazing for that, because it helps you to hold that golden light in form, but it's also an incredible healing stone. So it sends that golden light to where it needs to go for deeper levels of healing and restoring balance and harmony in your field. And so if we're looking at some higher frequency stones, there is starberry quartz, and you can feel the frequency of the stone, right, as I'm holding it up. And so starberry quartz is holding these off-planet energies. They are said to be encoded by off-planet races. So we know about the Lemurian quartz, right? Like Lemurians encoded by the Lemurians before their civilization fell, where the starberry quartz is encoded by off-planet races. So when we think about these new energies coming in, this period of innovation, right? Pluto and Aquarius, like expanded thinking, multidimensionality. This crystal is one of those crystals that is going to help you bring innovation, bring new light, bring expanded ways of thinking, because it literally is encoded by cosmic energies that are beyond what we've always known. And I actually have a crystalline activation in the shop with this stone. You can purchase this stone in my online shop as well, and drop into a guided experience with me if you want to go deeper in your work with that stone. And another one is Satyaloka azeshiolite quartz. And this is a powerful ascension stone. And so this stone also connects in with a higher being of light known as the Azez. And I do have an activation with this stone as well online. You can also purchase the stone in my online shop. And I take you through a guided experience of connecting in with the Azez, but also your soul light and your higher levels to bring in deeper understandings of your soul purpose and your soul mission. And so this could be a powerful stone to work with in this time. And then the last one I'll call you to is selenite. Selenite is, you probably already have this if I had to guess. It's like liquid light it's like liquid light. So when we're working with purity fields and higher consciousness, this is a wonderful stone. It's great to even just to comb your aura throughout the day, sort of clearing and resetting your field. But if you're doing any kind of deep meditation work, stillness work, connecting in with higher self, it's really great to start with a little selenite cleanse and even working with the stone to open the higher levels and connecting in. So it can be a really great stone for setting the foundation for higher creative insights and inspiration to flow in. So that is everything I wanted to share with you. I also want to share that I have a solstice ceremony coming up on December 22nd at 7 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be working with cacao and crystals to really anchor in to these frequencies and to really honor this passage, this changing of cycles, because with the solstice, we typically also are celebrating the new year. We are completing a season and stepping into the winter season, honoring this transition period, but we're also working with this new cycle of the new year. And so it's such a powerful time for reflection, looking at what am I ready to let go of? What new timeline am I stepping into? And what do I need for my best and highest path forward? And so really taking a close, honest look at self and doing that deeper reflective work, getting honest with ourselves, and also really inspiring the path forward. And so we'll be doing that together in ceremony. And if you catch this video before that, I invite you to join me. I will link it below. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful way to really honor this season. And that will be in that passageway between the 21st and the 25th, and that sort of resurrection window where it feels like the sun stands still. That is a really, really potent, energetic window to be in practice, to be in your spiritual space, in your heart, and doing that deeper intentional work. I also have another crystalline activation coming, so I'll be sharing that soon as well. And I also have crystal wisdom codes that will be coming in January. So if you are interested in developing your crystalline channel, working with the stones as spirit allies for awakening your intuitive channel and doing intuitive readings for others, I invite you to join the wait list and be on the lookout for when more information is coming in January. But it is a powerful, powerful program for really anchoring into your own sovereignty as an intuitive channel and sharing your gifts with the world. So I hope this video has served you well. Drop me a comment below and let me know what has activated within you, what is really standing out for you. I wish you this beautiful season of renewal and remembrance and just cosmic alignment. So thank you for listening. Have a beautiful rest of your day.